Hi, welcome. Rin, as some of you might know, and if you don't, hi, I'm Rin. I'm trans woman. I started my hormone replacement therapy journey a year ago today. Right now it is 11:22 p.m. October 12th, so pretty late at night, almost about to go into Friday the next day. When I first started HRT. So when you, in Canada at least, we have something called, in British Columbia, sorry, we have this program called Transcare BC. When you start and you don't know where to go, you go to them and they set you up with like all the resources and everything that you need and what you have to do to get started on transitioning. One of the things along the way was the consent form that you have to sign off, understanding the risks and what will happen to you once you start introducing hormones into your body for either trans men or trans women. This varies from person to person. So I'm just gonna go through all of them on this list. Your mileage may vary. Everyone's different. Everyone will react to this differently, but I will just share what has happened to me personally. So the first one, breast growth. Expected onset is 3 to 6 months. Expected maximum effect is 2 to 3 years. For me, they've kind of started coming in. Not really though. I don't expect them to get larger than like an A, or yeah, more than like an A, but they've definitely popped out a bit. There has been cases where they throbbed, especially really early on, and it just got really annoying. It got really sensitive to not just wear something underneath. So now I wear like a sports bra under here just to keep things, you know, comfortable and safe, right? But they are coming in. As far as like getting surgery for actual breasts, personally, I would prefer to be flat chested. I actually forgot this is a thing that could happen. So, but yeah, it's coming in. I don't care either way. If it happens and they grow big, whatever, but I'm quite happy with not having them. So, oh boy, we're jumping this one next. Smaller genitals. Expected onset is 3 to 6 months and expected maximum effect is 2 to 3 years. Am I allowed to answer this on YouTube? Smaller? Yes. Much smaller. I'm trying to explain this while keeping it fairly family friendly, but everyone doing this, you have a pair of these, I'm guessing. So I don't need to like dance around the bush for this one. Yeah, they've shrunk for sure. There's other things that have happened to them, which I will answer because there are other side effects as we go through here, but smaller, yes, definitely. Decreased fertility. The expected onset is variable and the expected maximum effect is variable. Definitely. That has definitely happened. How do I know? Well, that will be explained, I think, further. Yeah, okay, yeah, that is kind of gets explained further down. I remember before I started doing this was that they asked if I wanted to like bank any just in case. I said no, I didn't want to do that. Fat redistribution and potentially weight gain or loss. Expected onset is 3 to 6 months and the maximum effect is 2 to 5 years. Definitely yes, as again, it went to my chest. I've noticed my hips gotten a bit bigger. I haven't really lost weight. I've definitely gained weight because I'm lazy. I don't work out. I'm working on it. Rather, I've maintained weight, but the weight shift has kind of gone all over the place. You probably won't even see it in me very much, but definitely in my face now has gotten a lot rounder, softer compared to what I looked like before. Decreased muscle mass, 3 to 6 months onset, 1 to 2 years, expected maximum effect. I haven't really noticed, honestly, on this one. I think I've maintained the muscle that I've had so far. Maybe very, very slightly lost in my upper arms. I've lost muscle, but I don't think I've lost that much. So not really. Not too much there. Mood changes, both variable for the expected and maximum effect. Yes, definitely. I've definitely experienced the mood swings, like the worst moods I've ever been to the highest. I cry very easily now. I get really emotional. But like things that have never made like me move emotionally now definitely do that. It's wild too. Like things that I used to be able to watch and now I watch now kind of get under, like they just bring out the waterworks. I remember there's a time when something kind of personal happened where I was basically opening my heart, let's just say. And the entire time I cried. It was just like 10-15 minutes straight crying of me just opening up. And sometimes when I think about it, it makes me a little sad too. So, all right, here we go. Okay, oh boy. Decreased spontaneous genital arousal, parentheses, erections. 1 to 3 months onset, or 3 to 6 months maximum effects. Yes, I'm free. I'm free from the spontaneous. It just doesn't happen anymore. Honestly, it feels great. It feels great to be able to not let that part of what used to control a lot of my desires and decisions, I guess. It's hard to say. Life has been a lot quieter and a lot less anxious, I guess. But yeah, you just never have to deal with that anymore, and it's great. It's really good. I can't even remember the last time that happened. I think the one time that it did, it hurts because I guess it hasn't happened in such a long time. So, but yeah, just no more. And to follow up on that, changes of sex drive, sexual interest, or sexual function, both variable. Yes and no. I've come to learn that I'm very ace. I've gone through this over and over and over and over and over again growing up. I've had sex before, yes. Do I like it? It's more trouble than it's worth for me, and I also just do not like body fluids. I've always been very kind of like averse to ickiness and stuff regarding the body. I am not into that at all. Yeah, so that sex drive just not being there is a good thing for me now. I don't really care. As far as sexual interests, I've just accepted the fact that I like women. Tried seeing a guy for a bit. Now I can confidently say that I just like girls. That's it. I think one of the fun terms some people use are just transbians, lesbians. Sapphics, I think, is another one. I don't know. But then again, it's like, I'm not interested in sex. The most I want to do is just be in the company of another girl and then just, you know, just hang out. Skin changes, including softening and decreased oiliness. People have told me they have noticed that. Yes, my skin seems softer. I've noticed my skin has definitely been less oily. Sorry, the onset is 1 to 6 months and the expected maximum effect is unknown. But I remember I was at Sephora with a friend and I was getting like a foundation skin match, like a tone match, sorry. And they were applying it on my face and they mentioned that I have the perfect, most amazing skin they've ever tried putting foundation on. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I guess it is working. Because I remember, like, I grew up with like massive acne issues and like a crazy like dry patch, like in a T shape across my face and usually under my chin. It kind of still happens and I still have to take care of it, but for the most part, my skin has gotten a lot better from what it used to be back in the day, so that's great. Decreased growth of body and facial hair. I still grow facial hair. I've been thinking about laser surgery for it, laser hair removal. Body hair, yes, mostly. I don't really have body hair to begin with, so whatever I have now is definitely like kind of gotten a lot more fair and less thick, I guess. Oh, once again, sorry. Expected onset 6 to 12 months. Maximum effect is 3 years. So I guess I can still lose body hair that I don't really have. Oh, I just don't have. So that one doesn't really affect me too much. Maybe my facial hair has been growing a lot slower, but it's still kind of in the way. I've been considering laser hair removal for that. So perhaps. Decreased scalp hair loss, balding. Expected onset. There's no regrowth, but the loss stops 1 to 3 months in, and then the maximum effect is 1 to 2 years. So definitely I've stopped balding because this started like growing back a little bit more and getting a little bit more fuller. My hair now is definitely a lot more thicker. My hairdresser has noticed it for sure because I've seen my hairdresser like a month in, 3 months in, 6 months in, and then a year in during my whole journey here, and they've noticed like my hair kind of coming back more full. Tied up now. I'll just untie my hair here so you can see like how thick it is. Yeah, it's all this now is just mine. Those were the things that can happen during the consent or during the process of this. And there are risks that come with taking HRT, like increased risk of blood clots, pulmonary embolism, stroke or heart attack, gallstones, liver inflammation, nausea, headaches, changes to cholesterol, diabetes, changes in kidney function, heart and circulatory problems, increased blood pressure, breast cancer, increased potassium, which can lead to heart. I don't know how to say this. Increased prolactin and possibly a benign. I don't know how to say this either. I can't read. So that remains to be seen still as I go through this process. After a year, those are the changes that I've experienced. And that's just a year in from this, right? To see that a year of this has gone by has been really amazing. Just seeing the slight changes. I live with myself every day, but to hear it from others, to say, hey, we noticed this about you, you're changing a lot. And it's like, oh, really? I don't really notice that. So I do have like a timeline thing I'm working on, not like an everyday thing, but I have some kind of gallery that I've been working on the side that I'm gonna upload or post somewhere at some point. So yeah, the effects have been nice. So I've been very happy with where I've gotten so far. Dyeing my hair actually was probably the biggest thing I've made or done to with my just how I present myself. I haven't really done anything in regards to like how I dress already and present and things like that. So but yeah, like as far as, so let's just start there. I haven't, like, since starting, I haven't really like switched in a sense, right? I've just remained the same person, but I've always wanted to make that, like, just reiterate that like, just because now that I use she, her, and I would prefer to be referred to as a woman, everything else about me hasn't really changed. That's all. It's just like I mentioned before, when I started wanting to use those pronouns, it felt warm. There was like a glow, something about like my chest, the feeling of being referred to like that just felt good, and it felt right. It just felt better, and it made me happy. That's why I started experimenting with it, and eventually I wanted to change more, since I do prefer to want to look more feminine. I decided this was the best way for me to do it too. Was I unhappy with myself and how I looked before? Sometimes. I wouldn't say completely, but I definitely do prefer to be on this end. Now, the interesting part about that is that before I transitioned, a lot of you already know that when I would dress up, I would go like the extra mile. I would have breast forms, I would wear like lingerie, do photos, do all kinds of things. I had the OF for a while. I would do really promiscuous photos, very provocative, very sexy photos, right? Some of you have been there, some of you have seen it. I used to do stuff like that. The thing now is that since I've done here, I've kind of like fought back against being feminine at the same time. While I do like to appear like this a lot of the time, I've learned to appreciate that I like suits a lot more. I like wearing full suits whenever I can get some, or get them, or whatever. And I've just been very like, I don't want to say reserved, but definitely a lot more low-key. I would wear cardigans, shirts, pants. That's about it. I can't remember the last time I've gone out in a dress other than like for a convention. But everything else, I've just it's like I can't conform on either side. I gotta fight some way or another. But that's always just been me growing up. I hate following the rules. I hate listening to what people tell me to do. And I'm just very stubborn about what I do and how I want to do things. And I think it's really funny and really silly how that's been going. So, but yeah, as far as like voice training and things goes, I have been looking into it. There's a program where I live in Vancouver that's on a wait list right now where I can get a coach to like help train me learn and do things like that. I know there's also YouTube channels, and some really good YouTube channels at that can help people do, or help instruct people where to start and how to get started with very simple things like 5 to 10 minutes a day of just practicing of raising your voice. Can I do that yet? No, not really. Right? I'm not really good at it. But I'm not terribly in a big rush for it. If anything, I would do it for like, voice acting, because that's kind of something I might want to do along the way in the future. And yeah. So, and what else? Is there anything else? I might go for like some surgeries on my face. Hair laser surgery removal. I was thinking of like fixing up my jawline here and how my cheek like protrudes out like that. I don't really like that, but we'll see. And then there's like my weird eye that's kind of smaller than the other one. But again, it's just like things that I don't really, they're kind of troublesome and I don't mind, but it'd be nice. Maybe down the road it might change. We'll see. Bottom surgery, I never really even considered that. Maybe in the future, who knows? Right now, I'm just like, I don't have the money for it, and I don't think I want to right now, but we'll see in the future. Like, these parts don't really bother me. I'm still quite happy with who I am. And the changes that have been happening, I'm quite pleased with. So, I'm just kind of going at this at my own pace. But who knows? Again, I gone through life as a cis man, and eventually I got to here over the last 30 years, 36 years I've been alive. Things have just changed every once in a while, and every time I made the change, it's always been for the better. I've always been happier with that decision, and then I just kept going. I never regretted doing this once. There are challenges though, socially. Since coming out, there has been a bit of backlash from some people in the community. They weren't very happy that there isn't someone that they can look up to that was comfortable with being male and dressing femininely. They think the feeling, the vibe I got from them, what they've said, is that at one point someone emailed me something really long and started accusing me of being sexist because of what I did is stereotyping women for what I did. I don't know, it was really weird. I don't want to show the email, but it was kind of a weird email I got. Some people were very unhappy that I went back on my word or something like that. I don't know. At that point, it's just like, that's really none of your business. I'm just me. You can keep doing what you want, right? Like, what's wrong with what I do? It's not like if, I don't know. I don't know where I wanted to go with that, but it was kind of sad just to see people react like that. Just let people decide and live how they want to do. But yeah, just in general, streaming and being on YouTube, I would always get comments from people misgendering me and people questioning who I was, calling me a monster, calling me some really rude names, things like that. It still happens quite daily. I just don't share all of it, or none of it rather. I don't want to, because you guys don't need to see that, right? But if you really wanted to know, it does happen in the background quite often. And I try to, that meme where it's like a soldier protecting the baby from sleeping? That's me. I'm just like, no, don't see the bad comments, right? I don't want you to see that. But none of that deters me. I'm quite used to the hate. I'm quite used to the name calling. It's happened all my life. You really wanted to try and get under my skin, you need to do better than that. And that's not gonna work for you. So, but yeah, I think I've covered everything I wanted to do as far as future plans, mental health, social life now, and how things are going. But yeah, overall, I'm very happy with the decision to transition. I did not expect this to go this long, so I'm gonna end it right there. So thank you for watching this if you got to the end. Trying to not edit this as much as I can. But yeah, 1 year anniversary today. And I'm gonna keep going. Hee. All right, so thank you. And let me know how your day is going or anything else you want to share. Have a good day. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.